to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the press conference here ahead of January the 14th show at the OVO Arena between KSI and Danis. Yep. Joined by KSI. First of all, mate, how are you?
I'm good, chill, relaxed. Just finished the press conference and yeah, relaxed.
Okay, let's kind of address first of all a no-show from Danis today. Yeah. So just talk to me through that. When did you realise or know or notified that he wasn't going to be here today?
Yeah, I knew before the press conference. But I knew on the day or yesterday that he missed the flight. And then I heard today before the press conference that he wasn't going to be able to make the video call as well. So, I mean, I don't know what mind games he's playing at, but it hasn't affected me. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing because obviously the first time you guys are in this situation ahead of the 14th in a different setting to what you was last time out. It is disappointing, I suppose, when we don't have that kind of interaction between you two on there. But it's one of those things. Yeah,
I mean, it's something that's out of my control. You know, when there's things that I can control, then yeah, like I make sure it's always at the best of my abilities. But yeah, you know, with him just not showing up, it is what it is. But look, I'm not fazed. You know, I'm still training. I'm still ready. I'm still excited to get in that ring and just break his face. And yeah, and there's not really much he can do to stop that, really.
An element of doubt about him turning up for fight week, etc. I know you'll have kind of a contingency plan or two, possibly for that week anyway. But just because you've been used to that situation yourself, but are you confident that he will rock up on fight week and get in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be doubt because he's definitely, you know, flaked beforehand for, you know, several fights that he's had. But look, if he shows up, I knock him out. If he doesn't show up, I knock someone else out. Simple as that.
Straight to the point now. The card, though, is for this type of thing in this crossover boxing promotion that you're doing with Misfits. It's a very, very interesting card with some very good matchups on it.
Yeah. I think Sol Pappy versus Josh Bruckner, that's going to be a crazy fight. If Sol Pappy wins, he's top 5 because this is going to be Sol Pappy's first real test. I think his last 2 opponents were... you know, I wouldn't say they're top 15, let alone top 20 in the whole boxing influencers scene. But Josh Bruckner is someone that many people have avoided fighting, and a lot of people don't want to fight. So if Sol Pappy is able to dispose of him, then yeah, it's a very good look. But then obviously you've got Idris versus Anthony Taylor as well. That's going to be a sick fight. I'm hoping Anthony Taylor loses. You know, Idris is working hard. I train with him as well, so, you know, he's been going in with the sparring, in with the training, and you know he's a very fast fighter. He's able to like really go off the races. So, you know, we're just working on a few more things with him just to make sure everything is tip-top condition. And then yeah, I think he's gonna absolutely breeze Anthony Taylor, and I think it's about time someone finally, you know, knocks Anthony Taylor out because he's just this annoying piece of work that is just has been around for way too long. And Slim versus Thompson Eddie as well. That's also a very good fight I'm looking forward to. You know, Thompson, I see him like Ryan Taylor, you know, able to just stick out, take bangs, but also is able to, you know, throw more than Ryan Taylor did against Slim. And, you know, it's whether Slim is able to deal with that. You know, he was able to deal with Ryan Taylor, but, you know, there was times where he struggled. Whereas this time, you know, he's going to have to fight a better Ryan Taylor. And whether he can do that, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, stacked card, and it's exactly a month away, so not long at all. Just wanted to kind of run through a couple of the points, or talking points from the press conference. First of all, the mention of former England footballer Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
Is there legs in that? Is that serious?
So yeah, he hit me up saying like it was kind of weird. He hit me up at like 3 a.m. in the morning, being like, "Oh, we should fight," and I was just like, "Nah, man, I don't know. I'm kind of just in a different mindset. I think he wanted to do it for like charity and stuff like that, and I'm just there like, for me, the reason why I came back is to knock out Jake Paul. So, me fighting Wayne Rooney isn't really like in my mindset of things to do. Maybe after I fight Jake Paul, but at the moment, no. No offense to Rooney, obviously, but like it's just not where my goal is.
Okay, and the question at the end there was asked quite interestingly about Andrew Tate. We saw Andrew Tate and Jake Paul do that face-off, which we're assuming was just kind of for publicity reasons.
Just for clout.
But, I mean, have you thought about that? Is that something that could be a potential for 2023, Andrew Tate?
I mean, look, I'm always down to fight anyone. I've always, I've said I wanted to fight Andrew Tate, and if we were to send him a contract, he'd literally go, "Oh, I need some warm-up fights." So he's not serious, and I don't know whether it's the money or whether it's clout or whatever reason, but he doesn't fancy himself as much as he thinks he does when it comes to this influencer boxing scene.
Do you think that he will be involved in this at some point? Like I said, we assumed that clip him and Jake put out a couple of months ago was a publicity thing more so than anything else. But do you expect him? You made some points in there that you believe that he doesn't. If he was to lose, then you made that point.
I don't think he is going to touch the space. I don't think he's going to do anything to prove that he is a top G. I think he's just going to stay in his lane and just keep preaching whatever bullshit he wants to preach to his impressionable audience.
Okay, moving on from there. I did want to ask you, from the back of the last Misfit show, you got into a Twitter debate, shall we say, or heated debate with Jake Wood about some of his comments. So I did want to ask you about that. I kind of briefly spoke to Jake about this. We know that Jake was kind of involved in some of the earlier fights from a few years ago. I think the one with you and Joe Weller. So yeah, I just wanted you to make comment on that.
I was just disappointed at his comments. For someone that was so hugely part of the start of the whole influencer boxing scene. For him to just turn his back on it and go, "Oh, I don't want to see this. I'm cancelling my whole DAZN subscription." And it's just like, well, you can keep your DAZN subscription and just watch other things. You don't have to, tweet out saying, this influencer boxing thing is trash, I hate it. Also, I'm deleting my subscription. I thought it was very cringe, and it was just not a good look. And I had to put him in his place. And that's why, we went back and forth, and I told him, like, what you're doing is just not cool. This isn't a good look. And, I told him, this is, what we're trying to create a space where, it bridges the gap, or it bridges the I felt like there was this void where entertainers, influencers wanted to get into boxing, but there wasn't a platform for them to do it. The people who tried with other boxing organizations, and they'd either get run into the ground and become bankrupt, or just be poorly run or poorly created, poorly made. Whereas now we have Misfits, everything is perfect. We're focused on making sure the fighters are getting, all the focus, and we're making sure it's, a great place for an influencer or social media star to, go through and perform in front of a boxing crowd. So for him then to just shit on it, it was just weird. It was so backwards. And how the phrase, or not the phrase, I'm not sure what it is, but when people hate the idea of change, or something happening, they just feel like they have to put their 2 cents to try and stop the change, or say, oh, it was good in the good old days or back in the day. But like, things evolve, things, change. And I think for him, he just needs to just keep his mouth shut and, stay in his lane and not have to try and degrade or shit on anything else that other people are trying to do.
Just the last one on that. The clip that went viral kind of from that fight night, we saw the two fighters.
Chase,
yeah. I'm assuming as you build Misfits, you want to have every fight at a minimal standard of the fighters fighting, etc. But did that clip concern you, watching that and seeing kind of, I suppose you had to have context around watching the whole fight of that, but the clip that went out, if people just watch that, does that concern you?
Well, I mean, there was several clips that went out. There's clips of Walid Sharks versus Dean the Great, and the amazing fighting that they had and the technical ability that they both had. And, there was just other fights. And obviously, as, a lot of boxing purists want to just try and find anything to just shit on this whole Misfits saga that's going on. So, yeah, I guess a lot of people saw that clip and went, oh, this is why it's bad. You got people who don't even know how to fight or box. And, yeah, I mean, that was just a clip where Chase just, I don't know what he was doing, fighting his demons or something. But, it is what it is. We see what we see from previous fights, and then we decide whether it makes sense for them to fight certain people. And, we saw his previous fight, and he looked, decent. And then when he fought Josh Butner, he just looked, not as good. So it's one of the things where we can't really control. It's kind of just happens. And, from learning now, we just know, okay, we have to put Chase with certain other people who are, at a similar level. But it's all about just trying to figure out. It's a new space. It's a new space, and we're still trying to understand and still trying to make sure everyone is good. And, he, at the end of the day, he lost. And the referee called it off because, he just looked exhausted and he just looked like he couldn't continue. So
it's all about context as well. You're right. There was a lot of clips that went out, but the one that got picked out, that 10 seconds gets put out, worded in a certain way for people that haven't watched it to go to take an overall picture, and that doesn't really reflect the true case of the night.
Yeah, I mean, context is so important, and we live in a day and age where clickbait is just everything. Everyone just tries to clickbait everything because they just want clicks, or they want views, or they want interactions, or they just want clout. So, I always take everything with a pinch of salt. If someone says a headline or says something, I always verify it to make sure it's exactly what they said it was. And a lot of the time, it's always just BS. It's always just people just saying shit just to get more hits. So yeah, you have to do your research. It's just, man, that's just the world we live in. You can't just take everything word by word just because it has enough likes on the tweet. Yeah.
Just a couple more quick things before I let you go. First of all, how's your brother?
Yeah, he's good, man. He went on holiday the other day. He's just enjoying himself, living life, really to the fullest. He recently moved to London, so he's really just enjoying himself. He's been living with my parents for 24, 25 years. So, this is the first time he's able to be independent and really just enjoy himself. And he's really doing that now. He's really, he's going out, he's partying, he's having fun with his friends. He's having, he's having that young adult life that, I think he missed out on because he was staying with my parents for too long. So, yeah, he's just enjoying himself, and then when he wants to get back in the ring, he can whenever he wants. But it's good to see him also just creating YouTube videos as well, because that's what made him the person he is. And I'm always proud of him. And hopefully it'll be good to see him during Christmas. I don't know, because we're having a little situation where my bro is gonna be with my dad, and my mom is gonna be, or our mom is gonna be with me, and because we're going to be in different locations. So if I do see him, yeah, I've got a present for him, so I'm going to give it to him. And then I've also got a present for my dad and mum, so yeah, cool.
Okay. I'm interested to know what that present is you got your brother, actually. Well, you don't want to ruin it, obviously, on here. JJ, just a final one. Do you expect this fight with Tommy Fury and Jake Paul to happen in the first 3 months of next year? Because obviously that has bearing on kind of how your year goes as well.
Do I expect it to happen? I don't know. Maybe. I think the problem is for both of them, like, money is quite a big incentive, and right now I feel like in the boxing scene, unless you like the top fights, the money isn't really there like it used to be. So I think for them, it's kind of just like they're seeing whether it's any point, because I know Jake ain't getting pay-per-view numbers like, he says he is. The numbers aren't really that strong, and same with well, I mean, Tommy ain't. I don't know about Tommy, but like, yeah, with Jake, I know it isn't as strong. So it's kind of just like, I guess they're fighting for money that's a lot less than they thought it would be. So, they're kind of just thinking, is there any point to this? Or, should we do this? And then we look at our bank accounts and it's it's just not worth it. I don't know. For them, I don't know. Like, for me, I do this because I want to show that I'm the best. And that's just it. Like, I've got so many other places to make money. Like I said in the press conference, I've got money. I've got fame. I've got everything that I've worked for. I've got it. But I had to find a new purpose in life. And for me, that's just being the best when it comes to boxing and being the best when it comes to music or whatever. Like, I just wanted to always improve. So now, yeah, I just, I didn't make any money with the last fight. There was no fee. I just did it for free. Yeah, but that's because I just wanted to do it. I just I don't know. I just enjoy it, innit?
You didn't get paid for that. Well, not didn't get paid, but you didn't earn money from that.
Yeah.
That
There was
last
no
bout.
fee. There was no fee for me. Literally, all my money went to my trainers. All my money went to trainers, and then also my physio. Yeah. But like I said, bro, like, I have Prime. Like, Prime is doing extremely well. I have Sidemen, which is doing very well. Sides and XIX doing very well. I've got all these avenues of money streams coming in left, right, and center. Like I said, I don't need to box, but I do it because I enjoy it. So, and for me, like, I think that's very important, and it's just important in life. Yeah, money isn't everything, man. Money is not everything, and sometimes it's good to just, if anything, it's more terrifying to fight someone that doesn't need money.
Yeah, there is a good point to that, to be fair.
Yeah, so.
Can you tell some of these corner shops to stop overpricing Prime, please? Mate, the one near me, I'm not going to out them, but the one near me, they've got it in the window as well, yeah? It's not the recommended retail price.
Yeah. Hey, look. But I even had to tell Asda tried to increase it to £2.50. And then, I tweeted out being like, this isn't Prime increasing, this is Asda doing it. And they brought it back down to £2. But yeah, look, the original price is £2. Look, I get it. You need to make a profit. Make it, £3 at most? Not 10, not 50, not 20. Don't take advantage of the hype of Prime. Like, just be fair, okay? Let people try the drink. I have people to this day who have still not tried any of the original flavors, let alone the new flavors. So please, guys, all right? Normal prices. Bless.
My man's advertising the price in the window as well.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But the problem is people are paying. That's the problem. People are actually looking at it and going, fuck it. All right, let me spend the money because I can't find it anywhere. And it's just, it's annoying because, like, we're trying to increase the supply. But, bro, like, when I tell you we've increased the supply tremendously and it still can't take in the demand, it's just outrageous. And, yeah, it's one of the things where, look, we've got a lot of good things and exciting things planned for Prime. And yeah, it's we're gonna just constantly try and increase the supply. Bro, I haven't made any money on Prime. All the money goes straight back into the company so we can make more Prime. That's it. Like, you know, I see a long-term goal for Prime, and you know, I want it to be as big as like Coke or Pepsi or Red Bull. You know, like for me, it's like I said, it's all about goals and having a purpose. And you know, I reached a point when I didn't have any purpose, and it was a horrible place to be in. A man without purpose is not really a man at all, honestly.
Just literally one more. What did you think of Paddy Pimblett's video comparing your drink and another drink?
I thought it was extremely cringe. I think he's had a terrible week when it comes to press. He's been destroyed by Ariel Helwani, and even the fight that he had, he should have lost. There was no way he won that. He was getting, messed up with that left hook repeatedly, and for some reason just didn't know how to defend it. And yeah, I mean, his opponent had good control, way more control than Paddy, but for some reason Paddy won. It is what it is. But yeah, I think he's had a terrible press run, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's kind of staying low. Yeah, and not really saying much.
Cass, I thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. We're 1 month exactly away from the 14th of January at the Oval Arena. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting night. So
yeah, it's going to be very exciting. You're going to see a knockout, and it's going to be brilliant.
Top man, thank you very much.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife for saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.